Welcome to Yoga with Mama Monty. I'm Ashli Montgomery and I'm glad you're here. Today's yoga class is a focus on powerful minds. The link to the Spotify playlist is in the description. If you'd like to listen along with me, I'm going to start the music in 3, 1, play. Let's begin today in a nice, easy seated position that can be legs out in front of you, straddle, crisscross, lotus, whatever feels best for you. If you need a pillow, if you're chilly, you need a blanket, whatever helps you to feel most comfortable as we get going. You do whatever your body craves and what you need. Let's make sure that our sits bones are connected to the earth. You might even shift around, pick up your hips a little bit, set them back down, finding that connection. Our belly button is always engaged, reaching for the spine. Our ribs are hugging our abs. We have a nice elongated spine. The top of our head is reaching for the sky. Maybe our hands are open, palms are up, ready to receive from the world, receive grace from others as well as from yourself. We're going to start by focusing on our breathing. Breath is life. Without breath, we don't have life. And in between is a great reflection. When our life is very crazy and chaotic, our breath is probably choppy and labored, and vice versa. If you look up and it's hard to catch your breath, probably it's hard to keep up with life in that moment. And so we can use our breathing to really calm the body. And in fact, the definition of yoga is to calm the fluctuations of the mind. And the concept there is that whenever our mind is calm, our spirit, our heart, our body is calm, we become one with everything around us. And when we find that unity, we find peace. So we use our breathing, we use asana, which is the physical movement of yoga, and we use those to calm those fluctuations and find that peace. So let's go ahead and think about our breathing. Maybe put your right hand on your belly, put your left hand on your chest. As we inhale, we're going to inflate our belly, and then our lungs and our ribs, and then finally our chest. We're going to hold on to that air just for a second, and then we're going to exhale in the opposite order, deflating the chest, and then the lungs, and then the belly. We call this 3-part breathing, and it's a great way to really find your calm in a moment that feels a little bit out of control. So let's practice that together. Maybe close your eyes if you're comfortable. Inhale into your belly, into your ribs, into your chest, holding that air, and then exhaling through your nose in reverse order, pushing the oxygen out of your chest, out of your lungs, out of your belly. Again, inhaling into your belly, into your lungs, into your chest, and exhale, pushing the air out of your chest, out of your lungs, out of your belly. Let's continue doing that, maybe letting our hands come back to our knees, and maybe opening your eyes back up. Remembering to focus and to envision that air filling up our body, and then even see it as a ribbon. Just as you exhale, it's pushing out to your fingers, your toes, all of your muscles, your mind, and it's bringing life with it. Again, inhaling and exhaling. This time as we inhale, let's reach our arms up to the sky. Go ahead and act like you're climbing a ladder, really reaching and stretching the side, feeling your spine lengthen as you go. And then both arms up. Go ahead and shrug your shoulders up and sink them back down. This is our regular posture. We want a lot of space between our earlobes and our shoulders. So anytime that you feel your neck kind of scrunching up, Make sure that you sink those shoulder blades back down, creating a nice long neck that's not holding tension. Inhale to sit really nice and tall, and then exhale, we're going to put our right hand down on the ground. We're going to lift our left arm up towards the sky, and then pushing into our right hand to keep our left hip connected to the ground. Stretch your arm towards the right side, feeling your obliques open, your ribs space between them, and opening that side body, maybe even taking your gaze up to the ceiling or the sky from under that arm, and then inhaling back up to center. Remember that space between your shoulders and your ears, and then exhaling this time over to the left, pushing into the left hand so that your right hip stays connected to the ground, and reaching that arm up and then over, really feeling that side body lengthen, and then maybe take it up to the clouds, looking underneath your arm. Inhaling back up to center. This time as we exhale, we're going to open our chest to the right side of the mat. Our left hand comes to our right knee. Our right hand reaches behind us for a very gentle spinal twist, our first one of the day. Inhale back up to center. And then exhale, opening up to the left side of the mat. Right hand to left knee. Left hand comes to the back of the mat. Still sitting nice and tall, feeling that gentle spinal twist. And then inhaling back up to center and coming back to that side stretch. Reaching nice length, almost like a little bit of a swim stroke here. Maybe taking your gaze up to the sky. And then inhaling back up to center. Exhale to the left. Inhaling back up to center. Exhale to open your twist. Inhaling back up to center. And then exhaling, opening your twist to the left side. And inhaling back up to center, bringing palms together. And then exhaling your hands to heart center. Very nice. Now we're going to come onto all fours. Use that blanket or pillow if you need to. If you have any injuries, you always listen to your body. Yoga might challenge you. It might push you to a physical and a mental edge, but it should never ever hurt. I have a new knee, and so I use my pillow all the time. Doesn't stop my yoga practice from being wonderful and effective. All right, so we're coming on to all fours here, hands and knees, and our shoulders are directly over our wrists. We're pushing into our fingertips, lighting up your fingernails, and you'll find that that creates a little air pocket under your palm, which protects your wrists. Your hips are directly over your knees, and your feet are just relaxing flat against the mat behind you. On our inhale, we're going to lift our hip pockets, lift our chest, opening our heart, lifting our gaze, and just relaxing, letting gravity pull your belly button towards the mat. And then exhale, we're going to reverse out of this by rounding the spine, opening the space between each little. And you might even want to shift around here, your first cat pose. And then inhaling, scooping back to cow, lifting your hip pockets, lifting your chest. Gaze can just go to the horizon line. And then exhale, reversing out of that with a lot of exaggeration. Open, push into the mat, maybe even push your feet into the mat just to give you a little more opening into the spine. Let your head hang heavy. Your chin is just relaxed. Your forehead is letting gravity pull it towards the mat. And then inhale again. Finding this little flow, letting your breath be your guide. And then exhale back out to cat. One more time. And exhaling to cat. Very nice. Let's meet back in a nice neutral spine, just maybe whatever twist or movement you need. And on our next inhale, we're going to reach our right arm up towards the sky. And then as we exhale, it's going to thread like a needle underneath our left arm, coming down onto our right shoulder and the side or temple on the right side of our head. Still pushing into that left hand to help find that little spinal twist. Just keep breathing. Your right hand is just reaching outside of the mat. Your palm is up. Finding that three-part breathing even in the midst of a posture. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. Inhale to push into your left hand and reach that arm all the way back up to the sky, and then exhale, setting it back down on the mat. Maybe finding some movement, a little stretch, whatever you need. And then we're going to do the other side by inhaling the left arm up to the sky, and then exhale, threading the needle, coming down onto the back of the left shoulder, left side of your head, just resting on your temple, pushing into that right hand to create that spinal twist. Finding your breath here. Nice long inhales, holding that oxygen, and then exhale, pushing that air to all the tight spots, bringing life to the areas that are tense. And then pushing into the right hand, we're going to inhale the left arm back up, reversing out of the posture, and then exhale that hand back down to the mat. Find a little wiggle, whatever you need here. And then go ahead and tuck your toes, tuck your chin, and we're going to lift our hips into a just little modified down dog here. And then walk your feet to your hands, finding a little bit of a forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you need so that your ribs sit on the top of your legs, just resting them there. Your head is heavy, reaching the crown of your head towards the mat. And inhale to bring your spine parallel with the mat or with the ground, straightening the backs of the legs, keeping your balance on all four corners of each foot. Exhale, folding forward one more time. And then pushing into both feet. Inhale all the way up to our mountain pose. Palms come together. And then exhale your hands to heart center. Very nice. We're going to think about balance. Calming those fluctuations of the mind helps us find balance both physically and mentally. And so we're going to do a little bit of balance work here. Let's go ahead and put all of our weight into the left foot, bringing your right foot into a little bit of a kickstand here. And then maybe bringing that foot up to your calf. Your hands can be wherever is comfortable, helping you find your balance. Push into that standing leg so that you're not sinking into your joints. Maybe a microscopic bend in that standing leg and focusing on one spot in front of you. Let's go ahead and bring that knee up to the front. Very nice. And then we're going to reach our right hand to our right ankle. And then bringing our left hand out to help us balance, kick that leg back for a dancer's pose. Very nice. Gently bringing that leg back up, bringing that knee in front of you. Give it a little bit of a hug and then set it down. And let's switch to the other side, putting all of our weight into the right foot, starting with a little kickstand on the left side. And then bringing that foot up to your calf. And then when you're ready, bring that knee up in front of you. Again, microscopic bend in your standing leg, pushing into it so you're not sinking into the joints and focusing on that one spot in front of you. And then when you're ready, reaching your hand behind you, finding that ankle. The right hand comes out to help counterbalance. And then lift your foot behind you, lift your hand in front of you, finding our dancer's pose. Nice big inhale. And then exhale, releasing that gently, bringing that knee back in front of you, giving it a little hug, and then setting it down on the ground. Very nice. All right, let's shake that out a little bit. Whatever feels good. Let's stand with our feet about hip width distance apart. Maybe rock back and forth, side to side. I like to say that the four corners of the foot are connected with the mat to help you find balance and also that peace with the earth. Go ahead and pick your toes up, spread them out wide, and then lay them down like they're the keys on a piano. Inhale, arms up high, shoulders are low. Exhale, we're going to dive forward, bending at the hips. Again, bending your knees however much you need to feel your ribs rest on the top of your legs. Head just the mat. Inhale, lifting halfway up. Spine is parallel with the ground. Lengthening the back of the legs. Still balanced on all four corners of each foot. And then exhale, reaching towards the mat, stepping back into a plank. Heels are reaching back, belly button is reaching up, hips are reaching down, pushing into those fingertips, lighting up your fingernails, creating that air pocket. Nice big inhale, and then exhale halfway down into a push-up, and then inhale, scooping your chest up. You can either rest your legs on the mat or you can push into the tops of your feet, coming into your upward dog, still not scrunching those shoulders. Hips are reaching towards the front of the mat. Heart is open, chest is up, gaze is at the horizon. And then exhale, tucking your toes, tucking your chin, and lifting your hips, coming into our first full dog. We're going to stay here for a few breaths, so I want you to find the space that you need. You might try pedaling out your feet to one foot and then the other one, reaching your heel back to get a nice stretch along the back of the knee, the calf, the Achilles. Maybe even shifting your hips from side to side. The IT bands. Can you soften your knees and then lift your hips and then lengthen those legs again? Push a little deeper into your hand, letting your heart fall towards the mat. Noticing that space between your earlobes and your ears. Just letting your head hang heavy. Your gaze is either up at your belly button or between your knees. One more nice big inhale. And an exhale, get rid of all that tension. And then on your next inhale, let's soften the knees. Bring your gaze to your and then exhale. Intentionally here, we're going to exhale. Bringing our feet up to our hands, pushing deep into each foot as you step, lighting up those muscles, finding a little heat. And then inhale, half lift, spine is parallel with the ground. Exhale, forward fold. Lifting those hips just a little higher than they were before. Pushing into big inhale, lifting all the way back to our elbows, palms go together at the top, and exhaling our hands down to heart center. Very nice. All right. Find that breathing. If you're starting to feel a little bit of chaos going on in your mind, in your body, in the world around you, come back to that three-part breathing at any time you need to. All right, we're going to go ahead and inhale. This time sitting our hips back, just a little bit for a chair pose. In our chair pose, our knees are not extending any further than our toes. Our belly button is engaged so that we don't have a swayed back. Our heart is up. Our gaze is up. Our arms are up. Everything is reaching in a different direction, and it engages the whole body. On our exhale, we're going to fold forward, lifting the hips while our hands reach for the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, stepping back into that plank. Halfway down for a chaturanga. Inhale, scoop to up dog. Exhale, tuck your toes, tuck your chin, lift. And then bring your right foot immediately forward in between your hands. Rotate the back heel down, finding your balance by pushing into that front foot. Inhale your torso up, finding our warrior one. Let's take a minute here, go through a little alignment check. Our front knee is over the front ankle. The back foot is at an angle that's comfortable to be flat on the ground, reaching that heel for the mat. We want it to be engaged. Our belly button is in. Our ribs are hugging our abs. Our heart and our shoulders are aligned, squared up with the front of the mat. Arms are reaching for the sky. Fingers are nice and engaged, spread wide. Top of the head is reaching for the sky. Big inhale, just enjoying this posture without actually moving them, just isometrically sliding our feet together to really light up the legs. And then exhale, floating into our warrior two. Now our heart and our shoulders are aligned with the side of the mat. Our right hand is reaching forward. Our left hand is reaching back. That front knee is still over the front ankle. Back leg is nice and straight. Our torso is reaching for the ground, but our head is reaching for the sky. On your next inhale, we're going to slide our back hand down our back leg and lift our front hand up to the sky, and then maybe even behind us for a little bit of a back bend. Gaze is up to the sky, really feeling this in the right ribs, right side body. And then when we're ready to exhale, we're going to bring our front elbow down to our front knee, and then come back to that swim stroke we did earlier, bringing our left hand up and over. Our gaze is up to the sky by looking under the arm. Nice big inhale here, just to all be at the same spot. And then exhale, we're going to reach down for the mat, step that foot back, come halfway down for a chaturanga, and then inhale to our up dog. Very nice. Remember, we've got a lot of space between our shoulders and our ears. Our hips are reaching to the front of the mat. Our feet are pushing into the mat or just relaxing, whichever is better. And then when we're ready to exhale, we're going to tuck our toes, tuck our chin, and lift our hips for our down dog. Let's stay here for 3 nice deep breaths, pedaling your feet, maybe coming up onto your tiptoes, lengthening the back of the legs, then reaching your heels back to the mat, pushing into your hands, letting your heart reach for the mat, stretching the shoulders. On your next inhale, soften your knees, bring your gaze to your fingertips, and then exhale back to your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale back to our chair that we started in. And then exhale, standing, bringing hands to heart center. Very nice. That was terrific. All right, we're going to go through that same modified Sun B again, but we're going to do the other side. Inhale to chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, chaturanga, halfway down. Inhale, scoop to up dog. Exhale, tuck your chin, tuck your toes, lift and immediately bring your left foot forward in between your hands. Rotate the back foot down, push into the front foot to find your balance, and inhale to warrior one. Remember, our hips are squared up with the front of the mat. Our heart is open. We have that space between the shoulders and the ears. Our hands are reaching up. Our fingers are wide and engaged. Our back foot is at a comfortable angle so that it's flat on the mat, and our front knee is over the front ankle. Nice big inhale, pulling your feet together isometrically, and then exhale, opening up to left hand is now reaching forward, right hand is reaching back. Back leg is straight, front knee is over front ankle, top of our hip, our torso is reaching for the ground. Inhale, reverse your warrior, sliding that back hand down the back leg, reaching your front arm up, and maybe even back. Our gaze is up to the sky. And then exhale, bringing your front elbow down to your front knee, and then extending that back arm up and over, gazes up at the sky, feeling the right side of the body open, creating space between every rib. Nice big inhale, and then exhale, bringing both hands down to the mat, stepping that foot back, and dropping halfway down for chaturanga. Inhale, scooping to up dog, and exhale, down dog. Very nice. I'm going to go ahead and stay here for another 3 breaths, so find what you need. Wherever you feel tension or a tight space, we want to focus that 3-part breathing, and on the exhale, we are envisioning that oxygen being pushed, just like a ribbon floating through your body. We're pushing that air to those tight spots, creating space, creating calm, creating peace. Inhale, soften the knees, bring your gaze to your fingertips, and then exhale as you walk to your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to chair. Exhale, standing up, bringing hands to heart center. Very good. Very nice. Let's go ahead and shake that out a little bit. Find the balance that we're looking for here. Let's inhale, arms up. Go through one vinyasa here. Exhale, forward fold. Finding a lot more space in the back of those legs now. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back into your chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, bringing your right leg up for a 3-legged dog. And then exhale, bringing your forward. It's going to sit right behind your hands on your mat. Adjust to find whatever you need space-wise. We're coming into our pigeon pose. So our front leg is balancing us, and we are working towards getting that foot across, getting your shin across the mat. But this is a way that you can protect your knees, is by bringing that heel closer to your hips. You find wherever you're at today, because that's just the perfect place for you. Maybe pushing into your hands to square your hips up. We tend to want to fall over to one side. We want to make sure that we shift over, really opening up the hip flexor on the left side. The left leg is reaching out behind us nice and long. Maybe walking your hands towards your body to help sit up a little bit taller. And then as you exhale, walking your hands out, maybe even coming onto your forearms or even down to your chest. We're still feeling the lengthening in the left hip flexor, but now we've really engaged the back of the right hip as well. Anytime you feel tension, chaos, a little moment of panic, we just refocus on that breathing, calming the fluctuations of our mind and the space around us. Inhale to walk your hands back towards your body and maybe even reaching behind you, bending the left leg. And if you have space, you can reach back there, grab onto that ankle, or you could use a strap or a towel, whatever you have, and maybe pulling your heel very gently, just bringing your heel closer to your hip to continue engaging the hip flexor, but now even getting into those quad muscles a little on your left leg. Very gently release that hold, pushing both hands into the mat. We're going to come back to our plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, scoop to up dog. Exhale, tuck your toes, tuck your chin, lift your hips for down dog. Very nice. And then the left leg comes up high for three-legged dog. And exhale as you bring that leg in front of you on the mat, finding your pigeon pose. Again, our tendency is to shift over where it's nice and comfortable, and we want to push into our hands and see if we can't square our hips up to find that balance on the mat. Inhale, lifting your chest, and then exhale, walking your hands forward, letting your weight come down onto your forearms if you have space there today. If not, that's okay. You're where you're supposed to be. This one's a real challenge for me with my new knee, and so I just take it nice and easy, pushing air into all of the tense, tight spots. Finding that space. And then inhaling, walking your hands back towards your body and maybe reaching behind if you feel comfortable, binding that foot, bringing your heel towards your body. And this side I'm a little more flexible. I can use my inside of my elbow to hold my foot, creating a nice little bind. Maybe even reaching my hand up to the sky and then folding it behind my head. A little challenge bind here if you'd like to try it. You might be like me, one side has a little more space than the other one. All right, let's very gently come out of that posture. And then we're going to bring that back leg around to the front. Both legs out in front of us, nice and long. Go ahead and lift your toes. Pull them back towards your kneecaps, lifting the heels off of the mat, lengthening the back of the legs, finding any tight spots that we didn't get to in our practice. And then we're going to sit nice and tall. And then as we exhale, go ahead and relax the legs. And then lead with your heart as your weight comes over your legs. Again, we just located any tight spots that are left. So as we exhale, we're pushing air to those tight spots. Spine is still nice and straight. If that means that you just reach over your legs, that's great. Inhale to ease off of that stretch a little bit, creating some space. And then exhale to reach your heart forward just a little bit more, finding that edge, pushing oxygen to the tight spots, and then inhaling to ease off of the hold. One more time, inhaling nice and tall. And this time as we exhale, go ahead and round the back, let your forehead fall towards your knees, just collapsing over your legs, letting gravity and your body weight lengthen all the muscles along the back of the line, back of the legs, the hips, the spine, letting your neck relax. Your head is hanging heavy. Very nice. Go ahead, inhale, walking your hands up your legs, and then coming all the way down in to a position where you're just laying on your back on the mat. Maybe folding your shoulder blades underneath you. Let's think about each muscle group of the body, starting with your toes. Squeeze and relax them. Squeeze your calves, lift your kneecaps, engage your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes, and then just relax. Pushing your shoulder blades into the mat, pushing your hands into the mat, reaching your forehead through your head and into the mat, and then just relaxing that. Maybe your palms open up to the sky, coming back to that posture of receiving. As thoughts enter your mind, just acknowledge them and let them float back out. Give yourself this gift of stillness, of breath, of peace, and of quiet. If you're new to yoga and new to Savasana, it can be the most challenging posture out there. We don't have a lot of stillness and a lot of quiet in our world these days, and this gift of disconnecting from digital images and sounds and all of the activity in the world around us, it is truly a gift. So I encourage you to stay here in Savasana for as long as you have time to stay. And when you're ready, we're going to just roll over to our right side, maybe putting a hand under our head. And then exhaling as you push yourself back to that easy seated position where we began today. The big takeaway from today is hopefully that our breathing controls life. And through our breathing, through our motion, we can intentionally calm the fluctuations of not only our mind and our heart and our breathing, but even the world around us. So it's a very powerful trick, and I hope that you will practice it. I hope that you will enjoy exploring what that mindfulness means for you, and what that peace looks like for you. When you find that moment of peace, you find that unity, you feel at one with the people in the space around you, it does calm the fluctuations of the mind, and it helps us find a really beautiful balance. I appreciate you practicing with me today. Let's take one more big inhale up. Hands come together, palms touching. And then as we exhale, let's bring our thumbs down to our head where we have thoughts of beauty and peace and unity for ourselves and for others. And then exhaling those hands a little further down just to your lips where we speak words of kindness and support, finding that unity, finding peace, finding balance through all of the ways that we share love with others as well as ourselves. And then finally exhaling your hands all the way down to heart center, letting your thumbs even touch where your heart is, feeling love, extending love for everyone around you, finding unity, feeling at one with yourself, with the world around us. It's with love and hugs that I send you off on your day. Thank you again for practicing with me. Namaste.